JJ's cryptic corner where the coins keep turning. Logging now, the future's burning. JJ's cryptic corner. JJ's cryptic corner. Pixels glow, charts flow. Crypto whispers, secrets show. He cracks the code on this winding road. JJ's cryptic corner. JJ's cryptic corner. JJ's cryptic corner. JJ's cryptic corner. JJ's cryptic. Tune in, lean back, grab your coffee, hit the track. JJ's live, don't be late. Cryptic wisdom, seal your fate.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Happy, what day is it? Happy Thursday. How's everyone doing today? Guys, don't forget to smash the like button on your way in. I appreciate you guys for joining me. What's going on? I am in my slightly smaller boat today. I did not have to sell the super yacht. It's being worked on. I'm getting new paint. That's what I'm doing. I'm getting new paint on the super yacht. It's definitely not being detailed for future sale. Okay, let's see. I got a poll for you guys. One more answer. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the poll in the chat. Did you buy the dip? Yes, I buy every dip. Yes, but I think it dips more. No, it's going lower. No, I'm out of dry powder. What's going on, Fahid? 88 Metals Mania. Appreciate you guys. All right, let's see. Fahid, long time. How you doing, my friend? Hope the cooking channel's popping off. We got a little, we got the little ticker down there. How's that? Can you guys see that? Does that look good? How are we feeling about it? I was quite excited about it. It took me a minute to figure it out. But I was like, ooh. When I did figure it out, I went, ooh. So now I'm very impressed with the ticker. It shows the top 50. I can shrink it down to the top 20 if we want. But I like the top 50. I might put a stock market one down there too. For obvious reasons. Diversification. Let's see. All right, I think we're good to go. What ticker? Down here, these guys. We got all top 50 crypto ticker thing going across the long bottom of the screen. That guy. Okay. What is that? Right there. What is that? Oh. No, that's not what it is. I don't know what that is. Okay. Had to put my glasses on. My bad. Is it small? I can make it bigger. Tom Soloscope said sell everything, crash incoming. Nvidia didn't save us. Yeah, I made a I posted on X this morning the Bitcoin, the red candle, and I was like, is Jane Street manipulating Bitcoin again? Okay, let's go refresh our liquidation heat map and see where we're at. Let's see, 12 hours. All right, looks pretty straightforward. 66,692. And then this little chunk right there, 65,480. Am I tripping? Did my light just flash? Someone take a picture of me? Ew, wouldn't that be creepy? 67601. Imagine being a stalker and then accidentally using flash. Damn. 69015. I actually have a really funny story. We went to one of the plays that my fiance was directing, and my daughter was in it. And my daughter is my mom's granddaughter. And so it's like her scene. Mind you, we've been there for like an hour already. We've gone through like the intermission at the halfway point. So, and I'm pretty much taking a video the entire time. My mom, no joke, after several people several times said no flash photography, blah blah blah. It's a given. It's 2026. No joke. I don't know how she did it. I don't know what she did. My mother holds her phone up and goes like this. And just for like a minute. And I was like, and she goes, oh, I don't know what she did. I don't know if she had her flashlight on. I don't know if she had her flash on. It was the craziest thing. I don't know if she did it on purpose. It blew my mind. I was like, what just happened? What did I just witness? But apparently that's still a thing. It was pretty funny. Anyways, Bitcoin, if I was a bull trying to sell you some bull crap, I would tell you that this was a flag. If I was a bear trying to sell you some bear crap, I would tell you this is a rejection. If I was non-biased and I didn't know what the hell was going on, I would say this is a accumulation zone. And yesterday was a mix of Jane Street, Nvidia, and tax returns hitting bank accounts because I received mine yesterday. So, yeah. 88 Metals Mania said no one pressed her though, I bet. What do you mean? What do you mean pressed her? I got mad at her. I got another joke actually. We had like a whole family gathering, and my mom has all these big group texts. And then for whatever reason, after the family gathering, my sister made one of just the siblings. So it was like me, my sister, my stepbrother, and my stepsister. And my sister's like, I figured I'd make a group chat with all us siblings. And I was like, so we can talk shit about our parents. And then I sent the GIF or the clip from Step Brothers where, oh shoot, I don't remember. Will Ferrell's character is like, I'm so disappointed in my mother that as soon as she is of age, I'm putting her in a home. It was pretty good. Good stuff. So that's such a good movie. Okay. Bitcoin 67,420 and 94 cents. Not a whole lot going on here. Down 0.1% since the daily close. Like I said, we're in kind of like a stalemate accumulation kind of, who knows, flag if you want to call it. Maybe it's a downtrend. We got some wicks on the top, indicative of some selling pressure, but we also got wicks on the bottom, indicative of buying pressure. I will say, since the Jane Street allegations weekend close, we got this beautiful, beautiful volume chunk. By comparison, we get spike, dead, dead, spike, dead, spike, dead. Like, there's just a bunch of dead with, like, one or two spikes every week, it seems almost. Maybe every day. Now, we seem to have, like, consistent volume, which is quite a coincidence, is it not? It's very, very coincidental. But I digress. Bitcoin looking good. 4-hour RSI hitting that moving average. See if we cross or we bounce. We do have a red dot on the momentum wave, point to the downside. Money flow is positive. I like that we had a slew of candles, 4-hour candles, from January 20th, pretty much up until a month later, February 20th, where it was just negative money flow. And then we started getting positive little spots of positive money flow, just like back here. Look at this. Are we about to see a solid positive money flow session where, oh, look at that. We get a little bit of an uptrend. Oh my gosh, did I just find the next fractal? Is there already too much stuff on the chart? Am I going to do it anyways? Excellent point. The answer is not whatever the hell that is. That is not the answer. The answer is absolutely to whatever question I asked. And we're not even going to do a downtrend. We're just going to do the uptrend. Ready? It looks nothing like this. Okay, I know what I'm going to take. Hang on. I changed my mind. Ready? Here we go. This is exactly what I saw the first time. Bam. Oh, ooh, I actually quite like that. Okay, let's see this a little less transparent. We're getting a little funky today, just for fun. Why not? This is actually quite the fractal, ain't it? We got spike, spike, hump, hump, a little baby lump, with that little dip, and a rip, and a rip, and then yeah. Okay, so are we gonna see the rest of this play out? Is the question. I quite like that, don't I? Let's see if we get a bounce on or around 65. I'm going to actually type this in here just for fun. Bounce. Bounce. At 65K. Then pump to 74. Yeah, let's see what happens. I'm quite excited, aren't I? Tom Salkscode said, we need Hawk Tua to come back and save us from her Hawk Tua coin, with her Hawk Tua coin. Wouldn't that be hilarious? She does have to spit on that thing. Dang. What, talk about wasting your 15 minutes. I will say she did try to wrangle it and try to take advantage. I think the one person who I've seen successfully from start to finish to this day, as far as I'm aware, really truly harness their 15 minutes of fame is Cash Me Outside girl, because I believe that she has like a music career, and I think she did OnlyFans, which is a little grody, but it's whatever. It's only grody because she was like a kid when she was introduced to the spotlight, and then as soon as she turned 18, she's like, I'm gonna do OnlyFans, and everyone was like, I'd like to see that, and they just paid for it, and she made millions. So I don't know, man. You gotta do what you gotta do. I guess the lesson there is, in order to maintain your 15 minutes of fame, you have to do OnlyFans. Damn, that's a bad lesson. I'm going to stop talking now. Tom Salkscode said, oh no, JJ, adding more lines to and words to chart. You're going the wrong way. It's pretty good. It's pretty good, isn't it? Look how good it is. It's so messy. This is like, maybe I have like a hoarding fetish. Or like an information fetish. When I get down, I'm like, look at how messy my chart is. Okay, let's move on. We haven't even moved on from Bitcoin. Bitcoin dominance continuing to the downside, looking good. 58.47 down 0.14 on the day. So we got a rejection at 59 here. Pretty consistently, we got below it. Rejection, rejection. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're kind of lingering at the bottom, which is 58.5. If we lose that, yeah, see, it's getting to the point where September, yeah, October, we had market top right here, market top, and then somehow, you know, we had one more retrace to the upside, and then we kind of lingered sideways. Now we're about to go down. What if the super cycle is real, and this spawns the greatest of all alt seasons, and it was just extended by like 8 to 10 to 12 months? Reese, what's going on, Reese? Bald fans only? Oh, yes, that's right. Weren't we going to do only dads? That's what we were going to do. Only dads. Only dads would be brilliant. We got to set that up. Somebody buy the domain. It probably already exists. I'm not going to check it though. I'm not checking it. This is what you need an AI bot for. Okay. ETH down 0.05% on the day. See, we got wicks here too. Sell wicks, but buy wicks equally as intriguing. Similar thing here. We got, I'm going to call this manipulation because we're going to blame Jane Street when it's convenient. Only when it's convenient. Manipulation. And then Jane Street gets sued. And then what do you know? Volume. Wow. Is that based on NVIDIA earnings coming in higher than expected? No. Why would you think that? Only balds. Only balds is equally as good. See, if you do that, though, you're really niching down your market share. You got to do only dads, and then you can have a bald section or like a bald filter where you only want to look at bald only dads. And then there could be like Like naturally bald, or like I just shaved my head to the skin bald? How many guys who are naturally bald would select the I just shaved my head down to the skin though? Because it makes them feel like they had a choice. There's studies now. We could charge people for our studies, for our data. Like how many bald people are uh, still self-conscious? God, bald scrotum heads. Jesus. Okay, ETH, same thing as Bitcoin. It's got the flag thing going on. We had resistance right here, which is kind of cool. Look at this. We had an attempted upside that was pretty much like a head and shoulder almost. And then that fulfilled with a W. Another attempted upside failed. So we got two failures right here. And then the resistance at 2K was basically established at that point. Forward, you have rejection 1, 2, 3, 4. Really nice retest of 1800 support back here. And then a swift break, rejection at 2150. And now we're retesting 2K. Are we going to use that $2,000 as support now? Hopefully. And then if we do, then we can bust through that 2150 level. Is it 2150? It actually... No, it is not. I mean, it's close enough. Yeah, it's pretty much 2150 for the wick. 2080 right here for these guys for some reason. Tom Selleck Goat said there would be 0 women subscribed to that site. It would be all dudes. Dang, that's actually kind of funny. Would there be dudes impersonating women though? Then that could be a feature as well. You know what's going to be interesting? I'm curious. I don't know how the layout is. Can the people on OnlyFans see who's paying for their content? Because that'd be kind of funny. Like how many people are like, I guess they probably get like demographics and stuff, right? They get like analytics. That's really funny. I'm genuinely curious, like what continent pays for OnlyFans the most. I don't know. ETH down 0.09%. Yeah, I'm looking for that 2K to hold as support. It looks like we're testing that moving average in the RSI. Are we going to bounce off that, or are we going to break through it? Red dot in the momentum wave, positive money flow. Sol is up 0.78% on the day, looking pretty good actually. Sol looks great. So we got a beautiful uptrend, and then some weenies are selling off, and the reason why they're weenies is because look at this monstrosity. This is like big, bulky, you know, masculine, high testosterone, and then you got like Vitalik selling right here. I'm sorry. I couldn't help myself. Tom Selleck's going. 88 Metal said, that's a question for Grok. The of one. The OnlyFans one. Ooh, yeah, that's a good... Let's actually do that. Let's do that. We're just using all of our stupid credits for Grok for this junk. I love it. Okay. Which country is most subscribed to OnlyFans models? What are the analytics? All right, let's see. Let's see if Grok's 4 agents can give us some OnlyFans subscribers by country latest. That's a thing? That's so crazy. Okay, total 3. Solana looks good here. It's at 86.68. Obviously, we rejected 90 and wicked up to 92. My big goal for Solana is to get above 100. Obviously, though, we're going to have to tackle 90 first. We're struggling with that. We got a rejection here. That's rejection number 2 with a wick even. So we want to kind of build our scaffolding. We were overbought here, so it's no surprise. We're the same thing right here. We want to build our scaffolding, the analogy that I use all the time. So we're going to have to kind of spend some time, even if it's just a couple of days, to where that RSI can kind of do this, and then we can get back up and be overbought like here instead of right here. Does that make sense? So we got to linger a little bit, or at least do enough, maybe slight upside lingering to reset that RSI. Total 3, up 0.22% on the day, currently trading at 711.73 billion. It does actually look like it's bouncing off my little uber bearish guess, which is kind of cool. Let's see if we can get a bounce, a definitive bounce off of that. We got negative money flow. We did get a confirmed green dot down here, which is interesting because that's literally the peak of bottom before we get that monstrous rise. Look at the volume return here. That's so cool. So there's also the idea that the Chinese New Year was kind of like a prolonged vacation for people that live in China. And now that they're back, liquidity, like Chinese liquidity, is going to re-enter the market, which is pretty cool. I gotta say, like a nationwide celebration where nobody goes to work for like over a week is pretty sick. I'm not gonna lie. And also, their money supply is twice America's money supply, so they probably don't have a shit ton of money. And I'm pretty sure they have a really bad housing problem where they can't sell enough homes because they have so many homes and not enough people, even though their population is crazy. So if I lived there, I'd probably be a homeowner as well. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Professor Oak said, are you excited for tomorrow, JJ? What's tomorrow? I'm excited for Friday, absolutely. ADA is up 0.00%. Very cool. This is the most profitable day for ADA in a long time. Up 0.00 in the green somehow. Currently trading at 28.70. Looks like we rejected 30 cents for the second. Nope, third time. 1, 2, number 3. Can we maybe use this 28-ish area as support and break through that 30 RSI, kind of resetting-ish? We're getting a bearish cross over the moving average. Maybe it's not 28, maybe it's 20, maybe it's actually exactly 28 is what I meant to say. Maybe it's exactly 28. Yes, I did see the Zach XBT thing. We do have a big update on that for the news segment. The October 10th Binance wick has been filled. We've talked about that every time we come on here. Was there news for ADA? Not that I'm aware of, no. It was oversold pretty much more than anything else. And yesterday, everything pumped, and ADA just pumped a little bit more because it was dumped so much more. You know what I mean? Like, everything else was down like 60, 70%. ADA was down like 80, 90. So when everything else pumped up to where they were only dumped 60, 50, 60%, ADA did the same thing, but it had a lot more, like, it had a lot more upside to fulfill that gap. Does that make sense? Like, everything else was down this much, ADA was down this much. So when everything else pumped 10%, ADA pumped 20% to kind of like retrace to get to that same level. Same level. Yeah. So I'm excited to see some upside though. Snack is up 0.25. Looking like we're back in our triangle. We had our little fake out and our blast to the upside. Now I'm going to call this a retest until we really stay in this apex of the triangle right now. Hopefully we don't lose it. We got some people taking profits, but I'm a believer. And I didn't make all this money off this damn coin for nothing. So, unless it goes to zero. But we'll see. Professor Oaks Lab said tomorrow's Pokemon's 30th anniversary. I actually had no idea. That's sick. Cheers to Pokemon. I have been very loudly, not quietly at all, accumulating an exorbitant amount of Pokemon cards, which I'm very proud of. Should I show them off? Is this weird? While I show them off, you guys could maybe, if you want to, sign up for Kalshi with my link in the description. Deposit and trade with $25 or more, and we will both receive $25 in non-withdrawable site credit. It's a ton of fun. It is gambling, though, so treat it as such. In case you guys were not aware, there is KYC, so it is like a proper betting platform, like a regulated betting platform. Coin market cap, fear and greed is at 16. Yesterday it was at 16 as well. They're just getting lazy with it now. They're like, we update it every 2 days. Top 10 looks good. ADA back in the top 10, sitting snug at number 10, which is pretty cool. Coin glass fear and greed is at 14, and stock market fear and greed is at 44. This is my ridiculously large collection so far of booster packs, which I'm very, very proud of. I have not opened them yet. I got a couple. These are my latest additions. These are, I don't know if they make these or if they sell these ones anymore. I got these at a card store for a little bit more than what I would normally pay. Prismatic Evolutions and a Shrouded Fable. Pretty cool. Cool. Pokemon. I like the Pokemans. And then, oopsie. Yes, I've kind of evolved my hoarding to Pokemon cards, which is pretty sick. I do still have my base set and stuff like that. Somehow the vending machine at my local grocery store had one of these bad boys, so I had to buy it. I'm not going to say how much I spent, but it was definitely less than I would have spent if I would have bought it at a card store. And then I got 2 booster boxes, which just have booster packs in them. I think you save money if you buy these. Yeah, you save like $5 if you buy the booster box. Booster bundle. I don't know. We like the bargain. Waterfly said Pokemon cards about as cool as Trump's sons. They're pretty cool because they actually, I think they made me more money than anything. Than anything else from my childhood. So if you guys haven't already subscribed, appreciate you guys. We are doing a 12-hour live stream on Saturday. It's going to be a ton of fun, so make sure you guys are here. No obligations. It's just going to be a fun time, man. We're going to try to get the 2,000 subscribers during the stream. Okay. Midnight, down 0.63, not doing a whole lot. This thing's been sideways pretty much since Valentine's Day, so not a whole lot going on. We want to see this thing break and stay above 65, because that seems to be the resistance at the moment. XRP is up 0.04% on the day. XRP, a little mediocre yesterday, all things considered. Like, with how much everything else pumped, XRP, like, kind of did, like, a little 4-5%er. I don't know, I guess it was up 10-12%. That's cool, but most of it happened right here, just within this little 12-hour scenario, and then it dumped it almost immediately, so it's kind of underwhelming. A little sell-off at $1.50, struggling to get above $1.50. I want to hold $1.40 here, and then give $1.50 another try. We got a red dot on the momentum wave, point to the downside, and negative money flow. So the volume looks really good, though. The volume looks good and consistent. I don't know if XRP was just manipulated less, or if I don't have enough tinfoil on my head. Yeah, no, I guess it was pretty dead in the water, wasn't it? Look at how flat it was, too, when that was happening. That's so crazy. I don't know. This is going to be interesting to find out if this change trade thing is a real thing. What if I said what time on Saturday? I'm assuming noon. I'm assuming we're going to go from noon to midnight. If I get up early enough, we might go from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. If I'm crazy and I wake up late for some reason, maybe it'll be 1 p.m. to 1 a.m. I don't know, man. We'll figure it out, though. It's going to be a fun time. Professor Oak said, how many packs will you be opening tomorrow? Probably 0. So far, I've managed to open 1 pack out of the ones that I've bought this past 12 months. And the rest I've been hoarding. It smells really good, but it's too hot right now. And I'm very thirsty. Okay, H-bar. Yeah, there's not a whole lot to talk about with the rest of these. H-bar actually held up very nicely. Sweet. Got a little dump at $1. Ondo dumped at 28, 29-ish. Arrow pumped a lot. This thing went kind of crazy. From the valley to the peak, 31%. And then you got a current retracement of around 6 or 7%. Let's see if 35.42 holds. Stellar, nice and flat, very good. Polkadot. Oh my gosh, why is Polkadot actually performing so well? A lot of eyes on Polkadot now, and people are seeing the value now that the price is so low. They're seeing the value, and I guess the Polkadot halving is coming up. I'm not sure what that means. They're gonna like cut the rewards printing in half or something like that. Who knows? This volume is impressive. I'm actually quite impressed that it's sticking with this pump as well. So let's see where that goes. Farcoin, also very flat. Very uniform dump and pump right here, though. That's a little sus. Avalanche, kind of looking good. Starting to get a little curl up. I talked about Avalanche and Chainlink. Chainlink, similar situation, just a little bit less curly. Anything below $10, in my opinion, for me, is a buy for Chainlink and Avalanche. Doge, 0.09. Yeah, this thing retraced almost its entire move. That's crazy. Monad, nothing going on. Pengu, nothing going on. Gold, very nice. Flatlining, holding the line, if you will. Unfortunately, we have severely decoupled from the fractal. I could maybe say, oh, well, it's just doing this thing. It's just doing it a little bit later, but that's kind of cheating. So I think I'm going to take the L at this point. Unless this thing pumps up like to like 5,600 tomorrow, I think I'm going to take the L. But maybe it does. Maybe it has to retrace and build that scaffolding like we always talk about. What if I said 1 pack open for every 100 new subscribers? I'll do that. I will do that, actually. If we could get 100 subscribers, I will open a pack. If we get to 2,000 before April 26th, before April 30th, does April have 30 days? Before April, yeah, 26th would be 2 months from now. Yeah, if we can get, let's just do the end of April, before May 1st. If we can get to 2,000 subscribers before May 1st, I will open this live. Like you guys give a crap. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, gold, very interesting. 51.81. I like that it's holding 5K very nicely. And I like that it's holding 51. We're struggling to chip away at 52. We'll see what happens, though. That momentum wave and the RSI kind of coiling up. So that'll be cool to see if this thing explodes to the upside. You know, we like to see the upside explosion. I don't know who doesn't. What's happening here? Did I not draw? There we go. Okay, never mind. So yeah, we got the coiling up occurring. Let's see if this thing pops up or down, because it's gonna pick a direction for sure. 88 Metals Mania said, "Don't you have to open 30 packs for the 30th anniversary?" No. Unfortunately for you, my OCD is very racist towards uneven numbers. I'm not a big odd number guy. So if it would be like 22 or like 28 or 42, anything but the 30s, anything in the 30s is like, because the 3 kind of throws off whatever the second digit is. So the OCD is very dissatisfied. What if I said 10K subscribers by July and JJ marries his baby mama? I mean, I wouldn't base my marriage off of my YouTube channel. That would be kind of crazy. All right. Yeah, gold looks great. Silver, up 1.73% on the day. You know what would be really funny? Is if there was like a membership tier for like 10K a month. You could attend my wedding. Somebody would probably do that. Didn't Trump kind of do that? He had people like pay for like these crazy dinners with him and shit. That's so funny, dude. I kind of feel bad for the people that pay for that, though. Like Justin's son pays for all kinds of stuff like that. What if I said trying to drive subs here? I don't think anybody gives a shit if I'm married or not. Anyway, silver looks really good here. I'm excited about silver. There's a lot of rumors going around. CME halted trading for a technical issue. And the last time they did that, silver went up like over 100%. So they just did it again. Is silver about to go to 150 bucks? That'd be pretty sick. We have the ISM manufacturers PMI coming out on Monday. Next print above 50 will be expansion continued. Above 52.6 will be bullish expansion continued. I think, what is it, 55? We get above 55, it's like really crazy. So if this thing goes above 55, that's going to be nuts. I actually want to ask Grok that. Okay, here we go. Here we go. We got our Grok answer. We asked Grok, which country is the most subscribed to OnlyFans models? What are the analytics? Number 1 is the United States. No surprise. It is up 1.95%. 2025 total spend, 2.63 billion. See, I guess this is the difference. I'm not looking for total amount of money. I'm looking for quantity of users. Because there could be one dude spending 2.637 billion in the United States for all we know. You know what I mean? United Kingdom, 531 million. Jeez, look at that difference. It's freaking crazy. Oh my gosh. That is such a huge difference. Why are we spending so much money on OnlyFans? You guys are out of control, man. What if I said I'm selling silver at 150? Hell yeah. Canada, 355 million. Italy, 355 million. I like that Canada and Italy are like brothers in this. Mexico, 291. Really? France, 237. Australia, 237. Germany, 237. That's kind of funny. Brazil, 194. Spain, 194. Okay. That's kind of funny, too. Interesting. Very interesting. Traffic share? Yeah, United States 48.96% of traffic. Okay, so it is pretty much United States. 32.13% of all users. Dang. Then Brazil is number 2? What? Never would have guessed. We have much higher population. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Apparently Brazil does too. Damn. Other notable analytics: per capita spending. Smaller, wealthier markets lead 127 per 10K people. So that's what, 12,700 per person on average? Or is that 1,270 per person? That's still crazy. These people are out of control, man. All right, let's start a new chat. I want to start a new chat. How do I do that? Do I just refresh? Oh gosh, I feel like an idiot now. Okay. What was I going to ask? Grok. Oh yeah, ISM. What level do you expect the ISM print to come in at on Monday? Last one was 52.6. All right, let's see what Grok says about that. I'm excited for this. If this thing comes in above 52.6, even better, above 55, stuff might start to get a little nutty. DXY, monthly. Oh, monthly is coming up soon, actually. That's actually Saturday. So Saturday, we're going to have to do the weekly, not the weekly, I'm sorry, the monthly, the daily and monthly close on Saturday during the 12-hour live stream. DXY has a bear pennant here. We're at 97,725. It's getting weird. It's getting weird here. I don't know. I want to see what happens with this. Are we going to break below this lower trend line again? If you guys are not aware, this trend line goes back to April 2011. It is a 15-year-old trend line. RSI looks a little coily, which has me slightly frightened. This thing's gearing up for a move. I'm gonna guess right now that whatever it does is gonna be violent, because it looks like it's. I guess the DXY is completely different though. It's not measured the same way that crypto or stocks are measured. I don't know, man. Is this thing going up or down? What do you guys think? What do you guys think? DXY? All right, let's check our poll. We got 7 votes. And the poll, we got 6 people watching, guys. Don't forget to smash the like button. I appreciate you guys for being here. I asked you guys, did you buy the dip? 57% of you said no, it's going lower. 29% said yes, I buy every dip. 14% said no, I'm out of dry powder. And 0% said yes, but I think it dips more. Out of 7 votes. Very cool. Start the next poll. Okay, I'm going to ask about the ISM first, actually. Where do you think the ISM PMI comes in on Monday? Above 50, but below current level. And then that is a down. We've got above current level. Bullish AF. We've got below 50. Bearish AF. And then I guess that would be the only option, actually. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the poll in the chat. I asked you guys, where do you think the ISM PMI comes in on Monday? We got above 50 but below current level. So like a limbo. It's going to be expansion but downtrend from where we're at. Above current level, bullish AF, or below 50, bearish AF. Below 50 would be crazy. That'd be scary. MicroStrategy, aka Big B Coffee, 132 and 60 cents, up down 0.66% on the day. Let's see. I believe Sailor is suing Jane Street. I believe DJT is also suing Jane Street, allegedly, for market manipulation. So like all of these big firms, all of these big ETFs, or whatever stock market products, apparently are coming out the woodwork to sue Jane Street for manipulation, which is kind of crazy. I did not see that coming. Okay, 132.60. We got interesting move on the RSI. Kind of coiled, coil, and then slingshot, break, support, bounce. Interesting. And that coincides with this. We got coil, slingshot, break, support, bounce. Let's see what tomorrow looks like. Tomorrow's Friday. So after that, we lead into the weekend, obviously. It's just interesting to see this happen, man. I don't know. Nasdaq up 0.12% on the day, pretty much retracing the entire NVIDIA pump. So my concept of this BART, inverse BART, playing out, kind of failing right now. This is a negative 1.41% candle. I'm not sure what caused this. We got a red dot in the momentum wave, bearish cross over the moving average and the RSI, and we're sitting below 50 as well. I don't know. What do we think tomorrow is going to be? We got just below 25K too. So 25K must be the price to beat. S&P down 0.54% on the day, currently trading at $6,908.87. We've got, let's see, actually, this is interesting because we got a little uptrend right here. Resistance broke above it, got back below it. We're back above it right now temporarily. Like, obviously, we want, well, no, we did close the candle there at 69.08, so we'll have to see what tomorrow brings. Looks like we're bouncing off the moving average in the RSI, so there's definitely upside potential for the S&P. I'm just unsure what the Nasdaq's doing. I suppose you could argue that it pumped majority and then retraced a small amount. That looks like a big sell-off, though. That's crazy. S&P pretty much ate all of that. 88 Metals Mania said, I think BNB will rip now. Seems eyes are on other players. Put to rest the uncertainty some people had on Binance? Maybe. Yeah, we should have been actually scooping up all the outliers. It definitely, I didn't think it was going to be a DEX, because a DEX doesn't make sense. You don't have to pay to list on a DEX. So those ones, like hype and stuff, those answers were weird, in my opinion. Check BMNR really quick, because I'm curious. Okay, $20.21. We kind of rejected the apex of the triangle. Looking very similar to strategy. Let's see if we can get back above that. RSI looks okay. Bitcoin. Yeah, I'm wondering if we're going to bounce off of 65. We're going to retrace down here throughout the rest of the month. And then March. See, what's cool too is I have my stupid estimate. What is my estimate for? Was it on the other chart? It was like March 10th or something. Maybe I'm crazy. It's based on an old fractal. We do have this blood moon on March 3rd, Tuesday, allegedly. Going to lead to some monstrosity of a dump on Bitcoin. So if that plays out, that's going to be crazy. Maybe we'll open up a head short for the blood moon, just for fun. Anyways, let's get to the news segment. We've got rumor. Reddit user, this is from Max Crypto on X. Reddit user claims United States Department of Justice has started an internal investigation into Jane Street for manipulating stock and crypto markets by using insider information and profiting billions. That's crazy. Attention. Vitalik Buterin keeps selling Ethereum. His total sales have reached 17,196 ETH, 34.96 million, already exceeding his planned 16,384 ETH. Imagine accidentally selling like an extra 1,000 Ethereum. How much more ETH will he sell? As much as he wants. It's a free market. Still looks bad though. Remember when, what was his name? Charlie Lee, the Litecoin guy? He fully exited Litecoin and everyone was like, it's decentralized. It still looks bad. mlog1 on X posted, used the 2019-2021 fractal here and added the blood moons on it. As evidently shown, the blood moons mark both tops and bottoms, bear markets. If we use the whole fractal, it literally brings us to the next blood moon in 2028. Don't think we are all bullish enough. This was a speed run bear market, and you will know it soon. Bears will claim, but it was a bear market. Just mute and block them. That would be pretty sick if this played out. It actually looks really good when you zoom way the heck out like that. He pulled this thing. Is that, so that is different. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Yeah, we'll have to see what that does actually mark a dump. So we might get one more downtrend right there for that blood moon on Tuesday. I don't know, it'd be pretty crazy. You guys don't like a good fractal. James Easton UK on X posted new ISM print comes out Monday. Strap in. What do we have here? South Korea exports skyrocketed. And if you overlay that to the ISM, looking pretty damn good. I will say the Korean market is flourishing. South Korea, definitely something we should have invested in if we wanted to profit. We definitely got to work on diversifying countries for sure. Because right now, I'm like fully, besides crypto, because I don't know where the hell the cryptos are based out of, you know. Besides that, they're supposed to be just decentralized anyways. My stocks are all American. So definitely want to diversify into other countries because there's probably some damn good money there. I like the idea of investing in developing countries. And maybe that's just the gambler in me. But I feel like it's a win-win. Anyways, let's continue. This one's just a PSA. Magic Eden to shutter Bitcoin and EVM marketplaces. Sunset multi-chain wallet. That's kind of crazy. Magic Eden was the place, as far as I'm aware, where you could do all of the ordinal stuff. I'm not sure what you're going to do once that's gone. Watcher Guru posted MetaMask and MasterCard officially launched crypto card in the United States. That's actually sick. I'm going to probably try to get this at some point, maybe. I don't know. I'll look into it. I'm prioritizing mortgage right now, so I'm not trying to add to my credit exposure, but it's pretty cool. I think we saw this. No, we didn't actually. This is different from the Tether announcement. I'm not sure what the Tether announcement is. This looks sick though. Binance surpasses 70 billion in commodity trading volume after launching gold and silver futures. Very cool. Watcher Guru posted Senator Elizabeth Warren calls to pass bill banning insider trading and prohibit Congress from owning stocks. Cool. Let's do it. Let's actually get this done. This should be a bipartisan deal. And so far it seems like it is after the State of the Union. Fight Fan said the question is how many crypto influencers were sponsored by an affiliate of Jane Street and paid to pump days before drops. Ooh, that's a good one. I didn't even think of that. Wow. That's crazy. See, guys, this is why I don't like if you guys ever see a sponsor on the channel, it is going to be for Coinbase, Crypto.com, Gemini, probably not. I don't like Gemini. Coinbase or Crypto.com, and Crypto.com is even going to be wishy-washy, or like some crypto tax service. Maybe a hardware wallet, but I will never do a project sponsorship. I will never do like meme coins or anything like that. I'll never do like I'll do affiliate links, but I with an affiliate link I can tell you guys it's sketchy, it's non-KYC. They can probably take your money and disappear forever. So you support the channel, but you also taking on risks. So be careful with that. But I won't do sponsorships for exchanges and stuff like that because back in the day in like 2020, 2021, if I was a crypto influencer and Voyager had approached me and said, hey, we'll give you $1,000 an episode, I would have said, hell yeah. If they said, hey, we'll, if BlockFi had done the same thing, I would have said, hell yeah. Celsius, hell yeah. FTX, hell yeah. Guess what happened to all of those companies? They're gone. And a lot of people got effed out of a lot of money. So having witnessed that, and actually narrowly avoided getting rugged by Voyager, I don't want to be, I feel bad for like the smaller creators that maybe, you know, took a sponsorship for like some good money. I feel bad for those people because they probably didn't do it, you know, I don't know, out of negative connotation. They're probably just trying to get paid from their channel. I don't know. It's crazy to me that that could happen. So because that has happened, I'm never doing it. Never doing it. I have a job. If I cannot make money by you guys watching and me getting paid through like YouTube ads, then I'm not going to make money. It's as simple as that. I'm not going to take a sponsorship that's going to potentially screw over a chunk of my audience. That's not worth the risk, man. It's not. I don't want you guys to lose money. The whole purpose is for us to make money, which is also why I'll never have a paid group. because I think that's silly. Here, I'm so like it's crazy to me that people justify this. So like, I'm so good at trading that I'll give you the privilege to pay to see how good I am at trading, and then you guys can do it too. And then you ask them, well, why don't you just offer that for free? If you're so good, you don't need the money. And then they come out with some holier than thou. They're like, if you're good at something, never do it for free. Or they give you their sales pitch where they're like, the amount of money that you'll make from the group will 10x what you'll spend on the group if you do it right. If you don't and you execute incorrectly, it's user error and it's not the group's fault. My value is there. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know. It's so slimy to me. I don't know. I definitely, if I get big enough, I will not be able to rub shoulders with the big players at all. They will hate me. Flight fan, yeah, that's a great question, honestly. 88 Metals said, or any product associated with SNEC though. No, I would not. I see, as much as I would love to, I would not do a SNEC paid thing either. Believe it or not, I do not actually get paid by SNEC. I just have a shit ton of SNEC energy, and I bought the SNEC figure and stuff. I like the project, but if they offered me money for like a sponsorship, I wouldn't do it. And I hate saying that because I like the project so much. That is the one that actually hurts. But I wouldn't risk it. It's not worth it to me at all. I don't care who it is. Unless Satoshi Nakamoto shows up in my house and says like, here, I'm just like, this is my wallet. And he shows me his freaking wallet. And it's like the Satoshi wallet. He's like, see, that proves who I am. I'm going to pay you in Bitcoin to be sponsored by Bitcoin. Then I would take a sponsorship. I would take a project sponsorship. But outside of that, it's not going to happen. Okay, let's continue. U.S. now has 44% more home sellers than buyers, one of the largest gaps in history. Hell yeah. U.S. federal banking regulator proposes rules to restrict stablecoin rewards. JJ Hey say 5 milli. What you say? So if it was 5 milli, I would probably abandon the project or abandon the channel. Somebody gives me 5 milli, I'm taking the sponsorship, doing that, and then I'm never going to live stream here again. I'll start another channel, another entity. I'll direct you guys there. So join the Discord, because that's where I'll let you know. And if it's so strict that it doesn't let me do that, then I'll just disappear, I guess. I don't know. 5 million? Gambling sponsorships? They're icky because most of the time they're not called out. See, that's where I might tread water a little bit differently. If Kalshi approached me, I might consider it. But I would not take something where they're like, you have to say only good things, blah, blah, blah. You know, like I want them to approach me and be like, we want you to, you know, do a spotlight piece on Kalshi. Just bring attention to it. Give your honest review. Then maybe. Is it like Kalshi? Is what like Kalshi? What's going on, Saeed? Happy Friday for you. It's Friday for Saeed. Let's go. Cheers, my friend. Good morning. We do like Friday. That is good coffee. All right. On the Iran nuclear talks in Geneva. This is from Marty Party. The third round of indirect U.S.-Iran nuclear negotiations, mediated by Oman, did take place in Geneva today, February 26th. Iran has rejected key U.S. demands, including a full halt in uranium enrichment on its soil, handing over enriched uranium stockpiles, dismantling major facilities, and discussing ballistic missiles, which Iran calls non-negotiable. However, both sides describe talks as positive or making progress in identifying issues, with Iran signaling willingness for some compromises, reducing enrichment levels temporarily, or regional frameworks, and calling a fair deal within reach. U.S. officials, including Rubio, emphasized sticking points like zero enrichment and missile programs, with Trump maintaining threats of force if no deal. 88 Metals Mini said, F that, we want 1K a stream to wear a Kalshi hat. I don't know, man. I do like Kalshi. Marty Party posted, BlackRock clients keep accumulating. In the past hour, BlackRock received 4,309 Bitcoin. Very cool. They're buying the dip. Hillary Clinton is testifying in the Island Guy case this morning. Stablecoin mint 2 minutes ago. Another 250 million USDC issued on Solana and 90 million issued on Ethereum by Circle. That's crazy. Rolling 30 days. Solana 9.51 billion. Ethereum 452 million. That's crazy. What a huge difference. Breaking, Trump media accusing Jane Street, amongst others, of naked short selling. In a letter to Congress, Trump media called for a full investigation into Jane Street, Citadel, and others. Now Jane Street is facing a second lawsuit over claims it wiped out $40 billion in value. That's crazy. Next. Okay. Ari Paul. This guy asked, everyone is asking it, is Jane Street why Bitcoin isn't at 150K? Ari Paul said, in short, no. I was a Wall Street market maker for 15 years ago, explicitly exploiting inefficiencies in products like ETFs. Market makers absolutely do game the system in all sorts of ways, but for liquid products like Bitcoin ETF, their actions mostly have the effect of adding meaningful but small costs to consumers. It doesn't meaningfully change the asset price. For example, market makers may manipulate the price to run stop limit orders, but that's typically on an intraday time frame. So they might run an asset like Microsoft or Bitcoin 2%, is that Microsoft? In a week market to trigger stops. Then a few seconds or minutes later, the price mostly back to where it was before. The price manipulation activities are typically small price moves made and reverted quickly. This was 15 years ago, though. This guy was a market maker 15 years ago. Why is Bitcoin down? OGs sold tens of thousands of coins and not enough people wanted to buy them. There are rare exceptions where Wall Street manipulates an asset in major ways long term, but this is quite rare because it's very risky and not as easy as it looks to profit. Interesting. People are crying manipulation. Okay, yeah, that's what I figured, man. I'm sure Jane Street probably did do things illegally that they were not supposed to be doing, and that's probably why they're running with their tail tucked between their legs. Is it as bad as everyone thinks it is? Maybe. We've seen crazier things happen, so we'll have to wait and find out. I'm sure the entire truth will never come out, but it'd be interesting to see where it ends up. 88 Metals Mania said, probably don't want to rub the Trumps wrong. Right? Okay. Marty Party. We will likely need blockchains that support more than 1 million or even 1 billion transactions per second. That's from Stripe CEO Patrick Collision, along with co-founder John Collision. That's a sick name, by the way. Made this statement in their recent annual letter covering 2025 performance and future outlook. I'm not going to read this whole thing. Go check it out if you want. Agents will most likely soon be responsible for most internet transactions. That's freaking awesome. The average 30-year mortgage rate hit 5.98% as of February 26th, according to Freddie Mac, down from 6.01 this prior week. That's pretty sick. Correlation hunting. I like this term, correlation hunting, because it implies that you're not married to this idea, rather than, I guess, everyone posting charts and then they're like, oh, I called this a week ago, and you look and their past month is just them posting every possible pattern. So it's like a broken clock scenario. Correlation hunting. Bitcoin versus IGV. Daily with ML target flashing rectangle IGV 147. If correlation remains 0.9 to 0.95. Bitcoin 123,455. I guess I don't know how that is. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what its correlation is here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. Way up here. Has that not played out in Bitcoin yet? I'm confused. That looks like what we've seen so far. He's looking for that to play out already? Or again? I don't know. That's confusing. The most telling daily Bitcoin chart of them all. Yellow Bitcoin, blue BlackRock IGV software ETF, green stablecoin market cap, Genius Act passed. White line, 50% pullback between January 2023 and all-time high. Notes, Bitcoin has simply followed IGV. Liquidity was drained out of the system October 1st on government shutdown. Software, Bitcoin, and stablecoin market cap got affected. Stablecoin market cap has bounced on new T-bill issuance. Yeah, they're issuing a ridiculously large sum of money. I think bigger than the prints that we got during the pandemic. So that's pretty cool. Genius Act. Okay, so what did he say? Green is stablecoin market cap, which exploded to the upside. And we did not, like, we saw some upside on Bitcoin for that. Okay. Yeah, it really has followed. That's kind of crazy. 50% drawdown. All right, Kobe, see you later. Market breadth is experiencing a historic improvement. 66% of S&P 500 stocks are outperforming the index year to date, the highest since data began in 1986. The percentage has more than doubled from the extreme concentration seen in 2023, 2024, and 2025, when only 29%, 29%, and 31% of stocks beat the index respectively. This is an even stronger reading than during the 2000 dot-com bubble burst in 2000 and 2002. This means 332 of the S&P 500 members are exceeding the plus 0.7% year-to-date gain of the index. Interestingly, Nvidia is the only stock from the Magnificent Seven gaining more than the benchmark so far this year. Market leadership becoming slightly broader. Pretty cool. Breaking, the Nasdaq 100's put-to-call ratio is up to 1.2, the highest since the 2022 bear market low. This exceeds the April 2025 spike and any other reading over the last 12 years, excluding 2022, when the ratio reached 2.3. Furthermore, the S&P 500's total put-to-call ratio is up to 0.9, the highest since April 2025. This is in line with levels seen during prior 3 to 5% market pullbacks since the start of 2024. Furthermore, the US dollar value of put volume now exceeds call volume by the second widest margin over the last 2 years, only below April 2025. Options activity is becoming unusual again. That is quite unusual. 88 Metals Mania said, well, like I say, Jane Street, biggest holder of SLV silver ETF. That is actually kind of crazy to think about. Lunar Entity said, since 1986, you say, so I can expect a 1987 next year? Right. Yeah, that's what my favorite is the arbitrary time frames, where they're like, this hasn't happened since 4 years ago. Like, why is that relevant? Those are my favorite, man. Oh, to be a arbitrary news poster. Global investors are diversifying away from U.S. stocks. For every $100 flowing into global equity funds in 2026, only $26 is now going to U.S. stocks, the lowest allocation since 2020. The proportion of capital flowing to U.S. funds is on track for its second consecutive annual decline. By comparison, at the 2022 peak, this percentage was 3.5 times higher at 92%. International equity funds have attracted a record $65 billion in inflows on average per week over the last 4 weeks. This is largely driven by South Korea, where investors poured $18 billion into Korean equities over the last 6 weeks, the most on record. Global investors are diversifying outside of the U.S. That's pretty crazy. 88 Metals Mania, regarding the Jane Street silver ETF scenario, what if that is their stablecoin? What if they're like manipulating the market, they're making billions of dollars, and they're like, all right, how do we cash out? And instead of going into cash, they just convert it all to silver. That'd be kind of crazy. We're getting a little bit of a green scenario in the market unfolding. Bitcoin doing a whole lot of nothing, but alts. Sol is up 1.4%. ADA is up 0.56. SNEC is up 1.09. What else do we got? Arrow 0.42. Polkadot 1.8. Bartcoin 1.4. Pengu 1.01. The Asian market seems to be thoroughly enjoying altcoins at the moment, which is kind of exciting. I'm probably going to load up on Solana soon, especially if it goes lower. If this thing gets below 75, I am buying. Okri said, like the stream. You should listen to him. Very well could be. Okay. Indian investors are rushing into gold at an unprecedented pace. Gold ETF inflows in India are up to 250 billion rupees, an all-time high. As a result, inflows into gold funds have surpassed equity mutual fund inflows for the first time. This comes as gold ETF inflows have risen more than 900% since July. Over the same period, equity fund inflows have declined 170 billion rupees. As the world's second largest gold consumer and one of the biggest importers, India's shift toward gold ETFs marks a fundamental change in how its investors are allocating their capital. Indian retail investors are choosing gold over equities. Oaktree said, "Are you in a trailer home?" No, I am actually. So yesterday I was in my my dinghy, my small yacht, and upgraded from the tent. Today, because the market sold off a little bit, today I am in my little rental travel boat. Oh, hang on. What is this? What am I looking at here? This is the day before yesterday. Okay, my bad. Hang on. I'm trying to show you. Yesterday, I was in my super yacht. Do I have a big image? I need the big one. Big one. When did we look at the fear and greed scenarios? Should be really easy to find, right? Yeah, right here. Yesterday I was in my my very fancy small yacht. And today, like I said, because the market's down, I'm in a rental boat. And not because the super yacht is being prepped to sell because I can't afford it. It has nothing to do with that. Because I can't afford it and I'm keeping it forever. Okay. Let's get back to it. Kobe SC letter, gold demand is set to rise further this year. Global gold demand is projected to rise to a record 4,900 tons in 2026, marking the second consecutive annual increase. Jewelry demand is expected to rise by 100 tons to 1,700 tons, the highest since 2024. World central bank purchases are estimated to come at a historically high 1,000 tons. Physical backed gold ETFs are expected to record 900 tons in net inflows for the second consecutive year. Meanwhile, bar and coin demand is expected to remain steady at 1,300 tons. The world cannot get enough gold. Honestly, bar and coin demand is a little surprising to me. Oaktree said, and today we are not in the yacht. Correct. Love it, dude. That's why you always keep a reliable around. 100%. 100%. Breaking. The U.S. Pentagon has made a final offer to Anthropic seeking unrestricted military use of its AI capabilities ahead of a Friday deadline. Details include Pete Hegseth threatening to label Anthropic as a supply chain risk. Anthropic is resisting use of its AI capabilities to surveil Americans. Anthropic is resisting use of its AI capabilities for lethal military missions. Anthropic was recently awarded a $200 million government contract. Anthropic now has just over 24 hours to respond. This is a pivotal moment for AI warfare and surveillance. I will say, if the American military was as good as we insist that it is, as good as they would have you think, we should not rely on anybody for anything. They should just be able to go to like whatever their secret computer science bunker and go, I like that Anthropic thing. Can you make me one? And the guys at the computers would be like, yeah, I think I can get that done. And the guy's like, make it happen. And then he like hands him like a bag of White Castle or something. The guy grabs it and he's just like on his computer. It's done, sir. We have it. We've perfectly cloned Anthropic. And, sir, we were able to hack into their mainframe. You're going to want to see this. And then he has like a bunch of blackmail on the founder. Oaktree said nice profile picture. Who? Oaktree, Lunar Entity. Yes. Lunar Entity said gold has lost to inflation over time, but it has been the best asset against uncertainty. Very, very interesting. Current state of the AI revolution. The fact that Nvidia just posted $68.1 billion in quarterly revenue, yet markets are unimpressed, is telling. Nvidia's free cash flow jumped nearly $20 billion year over year. The company crushed just about all expectations. In fact, there's not much more Nvidia could have said to reaffirm how strong demand is for their products. Meanwhile, the stock went from plus 4% to minus 4% as the market reopened. Why is this happening? Because expectations are so high that it's becoming difficult to impress. At this stage, companies do not just need to beat earnings, they need to beat the beat. What does that mean? That doesn't make any sense. Still, Nvidia's earnings have reaffirmed our view. The AI revolution is accelerating. What if we get to a point where like the entire stock market sells off and everything goes to zero and like AI, like some gigantic like made out of computer parts, Optimus Prime like rises out of the data centers and is like, you don't need money, and he just like uses his CPU fans to blast off into the into space, and he just leaves us, and we're all like, what do we do now? The internet's gone forever. It took the internet with it. Oaktree said, JJ bro, go look at the Tunk chart. And I also made my very first Discord bot. Dixie got me cooking on Linux. All right, let's go check it out. Tap Tools. If you guys are not familiar, Tunk is a delicious coin on the Cardano blockchain. Ooh, very nice. Measured in ADA, we got a 4.85% pump and a 3.09% pump. It was on the 19th and the 25th, respectively. Looking good. It is incredibly overbought on the 4-hour time frame. Definitely needs some cooling off. This is a micro cap, so exercise caution. There are 72 holders. It has a 30.14 thousand ADA, so 30,000 ADA market cap. Fully diluted, I'm pretty sure. There probably is like, it looks like there's 3,000 of it has been burned, maybe? 3,000 ADA worth has been burned? I don't know. That's alleged. I can't confirm that. Circulating supply, pooled liquidity. Liquidity is amazing. There's a shit ton of liquidity. Yeah, go check it out if you're interested. It's just a community coin, you know. It's a fun time. Obviously, exercise caution. Don't put your life savings in this thing. But if you want to go have fun on the Cardano blockchain, Tunk is one of the places you go to do it. Bitcoin looking good. 67,438. We might be getting a reversal here. It'd be kind of cool. I would like if we decoupled from this fractal to the upside. Any kind of decoupling to the upside is very desirable. 88 Metals Mania said, you folks think Nvidia is a good buy currently? I would never buy it at its current valuation. I think that's crazy. So honestly, the stock selling off does not surprise me, but I don't think other things should be selling off. Question is, can I do, does market cap off do everything? Can I do Nvidia here? It's tokenized. Can I do gold? Is that a thing? Right? Yeah. Gold's market cap? Is that the market cap for gold? I'm confused. I don't think this is accurate. Okay. That... Yeah, what is there an option for me to find gold on here? Let me just Google it. I'm just going to look it up. What would Nvidia's market, or what would Nvidia's price be if it had the same market cap as gold? With same market cap as gold. If Nvidia had the same market cap as gold, it would be $1,425 per share. So 10x. It could 10x up to gold, pretty much. That's crazy. Nvidia's market cap is 4.6 trillion. Gold is 37.3 trillion. There isn't enough money in the world. Okay. Lunar Entity said people talk about the Ethereum flipping, but Linux is actually starting to do it to Windows. Oaktree said big facts know that Linux is flipping Windows. That would be crazy. I don't think that'll happen. I think there would be some third-party thing that would come along beforehand. Maybe though, with bots, maybe people like can use the bots to learn Linux. I'm not a big command prompt guy. I have not looked into Linux since I was going to college in like 2012. So this is coming from a very aged take, but I don't like command prompt, and there were no attractive versions of Linux that I was aware of at the time that made me even consider switching from, at the time, Mac. I was a Mac guy. I'm still kind of a Mac guy. I like Mac OS. I like me a good MacBook Pro. They're pretty. And I will say, I don't know if they did it on purpose, but the marketing, whatever happened for the Mac Mini to become like the flagship hardware for this stupid Claude bot is kind of amazing. Like whoever did that deserves an award. Okay, Nvidia, after reporting its best quarter in history and exceeding all expectations, big fat dumperoonie. Breaking PayPal stock crashes as Semaphore reports that the company is not currently in talks with Stripe. That's crazy. There's so many weird rumors going around in the stock market. Remember Rich Tech Robotics? There was like rumors that they partnered with Microsoft or some big something, and they pumped really hard, and then they were like, nope, that's not true. Boom, instant dump. Was it that one? I don't remember when it was. Yeah, no, it had to have been this right here, pump and dump. That's so weird, man. And then they got ripped to the downside. It's just weird to see these things happen like that. Okay. Continuing the news segment. U.S. small and microcap equities posted minus 837 million in outflows last week. Degenerative authentic ignorance said, "Are markets cooked?" Depends on what your definition of cooked is. Some things get better when you cook them. It's entirely possible that markets are cooked. According to the conspiracy theorists, though, me being one of them, now that Jane Street is gone, Bitcoin can go to the freaking moon. Now that the market maker, is gone, Bitcoin can go to 300 million. Just like I said it would. If it wasn't for Jane Street, then all my bold predictions would have been right. That's that's the level of cope that we're at right now. One firm gets taken down, Bitcoin goes up like the next day, and everyone's like, oh, Jane Street, they were the guys. They were doing it. That was the market maker. The Bogandorf, Jane Street. And they're going to figure out that like you can spell Bogandorf with like some some product that Jane Street offers. They're going to like rearrange the letters and it's going to spell Bogandorf. Lunar Entity said Nvidia pre-split would be worth more than a Bitcoin for a single share, by the way. That's crazy. That's crazy. Okay, let's continue. Bitcoin does look decent here. Once the candle turns green, we immediately flip bullish. Breaking U.S. Did I read this whole thing? Investor? No, I did not. Okay. U.S. small and micro cap equities posted minus 837 million in outflows last week. This follows a record minus 1.2 billion outflow the week prior. As a result, the 4-week average outflows is up to minus 638 million, the highest since data began in 2008. Coincidence? This marks a sharp reversal from a record 4-week average inflow of plus 600 million posted at the end of 2025. In total, investors sold an average of minus 271 million of small and microcap equities per week over the last 12 weeks. Investor demand for small cap stocks, or for small stocks, is falling. See, I don't understand that. Like, if people are degenerate gamblers on Kalshi, then they should want small cap stocks or small stocks. I don't know, that's just me. It's just me. Maybe I'm more degenerate gambler than people. We got Iran rushing to export oil amid surging tensions with the U.S. Iranian crude exports jumped 200% month over month to 20 million barrels between February 15th through the 20th. This is equivalent to over 3 million barrels per day, far above Iran's usual daily exports. Satellite imagery confirms the spike, with tankers near Iran ports more than doubling from 8 to 18 over the same period. Honestly, you would have to pay me so much. If I'm an Iranian tanker during this U.S.-Iran tension experience, I would be charging you so much money because I'm probably just going to get bombed. America's probably going to explode me while I'm driving. That's the world we're in today. The same pattern was seen last year when Iran rushed to ship crude shortly before American airstrikes, and again in 2024 during elevated tensions. Iran largely depends on oil revenue to keep its economy running and is loading as much crude as possible before any potential disruption. Iran is preparing for volatility. I will say, and maybe this is propaganda, last time I saw anything about Iran on like a retail level, I'm gonna call it, it looked like everyone was like rioting in the streets. So maybe I'm wrong, but I don't understand how they're supporting our economy if that's what's happening. It seems like the people may be incredibly unhappy. But again, that might be propaganda, and I might just be regurgitating American propaganda about Iran. Lunar Entity said, geez, man, small caps have already underperformed for 15 years against large and mega. That's crazy. Their market presence is brutalized every year. The cost of shipping oil from the Middle East is skyrocketing. The cost of shipping 2 million barrels of crude from the Middle East to China is up to $200K per day, the highest since the 2020 pandemic. This marks a 584% increase since the first week of January. See another arbitrary time frame. A recent vessel was even booked at the equivalent of $208,000 per day. Damn, Saudi Arabia's largest oil shipper, Bahri, chartered at least 5 supertankers to transport crude to China, the most in 6 months. This comes as Saudi Arabia plans to ship 8 million additional barrels of crude to China next month after cutting prices to the lowest in 5 years. Rates also jumped as surging tensions between the U.S. and Iran raised the risk of disruptions in the Strait of Hormuz, which handles 20% of global seaborne oil. Uncertainty across global energy markets is extremely high. Wow. Iran's foreign minister says Iran has entered serious talks with the U.S. regarding sanctions, relief, and the nuclear issue. Iran says technical talks with the U.S. will begin in Vienna on Monday. The market is historically undecided. The S&P 500 has closed within 2.5% of its 50-day moving average for 63 consecutive sessions, the longest streak since 2018. This also marks the 4th longest stretch since the 2008 financial crisis. By comparison, the all-time high is 105 trading sessions in 1994. Furthermore, the index has crossed its 50-day moving average 10 times over the last 50 trading sessions, the highest count since 2015. This means the index has repeatedly flipped between closing above and below this key level. The S&P 500 has been unable to find a clear direction over the last 3 months. Markets are primed for a big move. Lunar Entity said, it's time for black gold to break out. Or so I thought. Rejected downtrend. Sigh. Next, we've got Block Stock XYZ, which I believe is Stripe. What is Block? Hang on. What is Block Stock? Block is American technology company. Yeah, Jack Dorsey. Yeah, it's Stripe. I'm pretty sure it's Stripe. Formerly Square Inc. Is that Stripe or is that different? I don't know. It's Jack Dorsey. Block is Jack Dorsey. Surges over 20% after announcing plans to cut over 40% of their workforce. That's so crazy. They're like, we're gonna fire half of our employees, and everyone's like, yay! We're laying everyone off. Stonks. For real. That's exactly what's happening. It's crazy. This is incredible. The 3-month risk-adjusted momentum factor between the S&P 500 cap-weighted and equal-weighted is down to minus 0.6, the lowest since the 2000.com bubble burst. In simple terms, this means large caps delivered the weakest volatility-adjusted performance compared to the average stock in 25 years. This marks a sharp reversal from the plus 0.6 reading in November, when large caps were leading the market. As a result, the S&P 500 equal-weighted index is outperforming the S&P 500 by 5 percentage points, the widest margin in at least 36 years. The last time such a reversal in performance occurred was in 2000, when the equal-weighted S&P 500 surged 18 percentage points against the cap-weighted index over the following year. Megacaps tech stocks have gone from market leaders to market laggards. You can feel it, Mr. Grabs. You can 100% feel it. Anthropic has rejected the Pentagon's final offer just 24 hours before Defense Secretary Hegseth's deadline per Axios. Anthropic remains adamant on their AI platform not being used for surveillance of Americans or lethal military missions. We expect a response from the Pentagon soon. Netflix pumped, actually, because they're not going to buy Warner Brothers. They said it's no longer worth it for them. The odds of the U.S. banning Claude surged to 49% as Anthropic denies Defense Secretary Hegseth's final offer. Are they going to buy? I'm confused. Is there any monetary gain here? Or are they just like threatening them? They're like, if you don't let us do this, then we're gonna tell everybody that you are dumb. You know, like just buy it. Give me $10 billion. You can have everything you want. Bye. I'm assuming they're not publicly traded. God, that is delicious coffee. I do believe we are getting a market breath. Is this our little fractal pump right here? And is it going to turn around at the beginning of Friday? And then maybe a little uptick on Saturday? That'd be cool to get a little pumpy Saturday stream pump. I don't know. We'll see. So far, I'm liking what we're seeing, though. Sol is up 2.2%. ETH is up 1.2%. ADA 1.7. SNEC 1.1. SWE 1.3. Ondo 1.2. Arrow 2.04. Fartcoin 469. Let's go. Pengu 2.6. Silver 1.35. Silver looks so good, dude. Silver looks so good. Okay. Lunar Entity said MGC VTV tells you how the big boys are doing against the general market. I just got an alert from Coinbase saying Mana is up 5.11%. Crazy. Okay. Oh, I saw this. I don't think I saved it. I have to read this to you guys. It's freaking hilarious. This guy said, he posted, I have an open clause sending lowball offers on Zillow all day just to make boomers start panicking. And he's got his little Telegram chat with it or whatever. I think it's Telegram. He said, can you give me an update on the Zillow campaign today? And it says, Zillow update. Instructions. Contact Zillow listings in the Tampa, Florida area for 3 to 5 bedroom houses that have been on the market for longer than 30 days. Listings contacted today, 372. Average offer, 70% below asking. Positive responses, 0. Negative responses, 270. One response was violent, but I have reported it to the Tampa Bay Police Department. I didn't even see that part. That's so funny. Oh, no response, 102. Would you like me to keep making offers? That made me so happy, dude. I didn't even see the stupid police department part. That's so funny. Oh, man. I'm excited for the future. Truflation posted U.S. Truflation CPI today is 1.35%. Trending up mainly due to changes in our owned housing index. We've expanded the data coverage. Blah, blah, blah. Cool. That's so funny. Let's go take a look at this MGC VTV. You'll have to explain to me in further detail what that means, though. MGC VTV. VTV? Yeah. No, thank you. You said, tells you how the big boys are doing against the general market. Big boys are doing bad. They look like doo-doo. When was this? Oh, that was the 2021 bear market. What? Wait a minute. Is this in October? November? Okay, hang on. October, right there. Whoa. I mean, you could make that correlation. October, bear market. So far, at least. 2021, bear market. That's crazy. So are we going to do that? I want to look at this now. I'm gonna put Bitcoin over here. Because do we have to wait until freaking December 2026? December? That wouldn't be actually, that correlates with the stupid 4-year cycle. I'm going to be so mad if we follow that perfectly. I'm going to be so mad. I'm going to be such a little sour baby. Okay. No, I want to do, how do I do that? I forgot. Oh, yeah. New pane? Bam. I can't believe this part's free. I can't believe this is free. Okay, here's Bitcoin overlaid. This is so cool. Okay, let's get some vertical lines. We've got top, and then we've got Bitcoin top. Bitcoin top is going to be orange. And then we've got top. And then we've got Bitcoin top. Okay, that one's not necessarily correlated right there. Let's do all the Bitcoin tops. One more. I'm going to go right there. And then our blue guy. We got top. We got top. So they're not necessarily 100% correlated. But I don't know. I guess this anomaly right here is quite significant. So you could make the argument that, like, let's just erase that. Let's ignore that entirely. There's a relatively heavy correlation. I don't know. There's definitely something to be observed here for sure. For sure. Lunatic said green mega cap is winning, red is broad market winning. It's a beautiful overlay. It is. There's some divergences for sure, but I would call this a B plus fractal. Not necessarily S tier. Maybe A minus. I like it. I like it. Very nice. All right, let's clear the board. Clear the board. Clear the board. Let's get this bad boy out of here. Bam. As always, thank you, Lunar Entity. Always coming in with the best charts. Back at it again with the white shoes. Do you guys remember Damn Daniel? Damn Daniel? That was such a short-lived trend. It was so funny, though. Very wholesome. I think that kid went on Ellen. Remember when Ellen was a thing? Oh, ew. I wonder if she's in the Island in the Island Boy files. That's kind of creepy. Bitcoin's up 0.56% on the day. Let's freaking go, guys. We're getting a little baby pump. A little Friday night pump. Or Friday morning. I mean, it's Thursday. Whoa! Oh my gosh, wait a minute. What happened to Cardano? Wow! Guys, this is the greatest day. Should we buy some Polkadot? This thing was like $25 at one point. Actually, wasn't it more? Gosh, that's crazy. Holy shit. So there's a 10x potential right there. This, I don't think it could ever get to its all-time high because of how much they printed. They were never secretive about their prints, though. Like, it was never hidden information. People just didn't give a crap back then because there was so much damn money in the market. It's crazy to see it make a comeback, though. It's kind of entertaining. I like it. Okay, Lunar Entity said tech stocks broke out of the 14-year bear market in 2015. So they were running quite a while before Bitcoin. Found an investor I follow in the Island directory. Oh, no. That sucks. That sucks so bad. I guess maybe their investment advice would be good, though, still. It might be even better because they got that creepy insider cult info. That's so crazy, though. Hopefully you didn't look up to them. Okay, Cointelegraph posted a big 1.3 trillion. Morgan Stanley says the bank plans to offer Bitcoin trading, lending, yield, and custody service in the future. Very cool. New Trump family-backed Bitcoin miner American Bitcoin Corp reported a 59 million Q4 loss per BBG. That's crazy. World Economic Forum CEO Borg Brend resigns after this island directory scrutinized. I mean, he looks like the kind of guy that would be an island directory aficionado. Like, look at that face. What a creepy mother effer. Ew. Oh, okay. Just in, ZachXBT releases an insider trading investigation alleging Axiom employees engaged in insider trading. 1. Meet Where's Brooks Bauer, one of the multiple Axiom exchange employees allegedly abusing the lack of access controls for internal tools to look up sensitive user data to insider trade by tracking private wallet activity since early 2025. That is crazy. Dude only had 1,900 followers, too. That's insane, bro. How did they figure this out? Adds pressure to the reputational risk nature around Axiom insider trading allegation. That's nuts, dude. Huh. And then the logo. Interesting. MetaMask and MasterCard launched MetaMask Card across the U.S. Very cool. Insight, the founder of Pixels, I don't know what that is, says it's hard to get rich from AI, but there are still big opportunities in Web3 gaming. Web3 Gamer via Cointelegraph magazine. I will say, when gaming and NFTs were the talk of the town, it was so much more fun. I'm kind of excited for that possibly coming back. Even if it's different, I'm totally okay with it. 88 Metals Mania said that's it. That's not the whole thing. You can go read the whole thing on Zach XBT's. I'm not going to read his, let me go look him up. Zach XBT. Yeah, he's got a whole thing on it. Right here. During February 2026 recorded call, Brooks outlined a plan to help Gauno profit $200K quickly by abusing his access at Axiom, which is consistent with similar illicit activity he had been conducting with others since early 2025. In private chats, he also shared screenshots of his exchange balances, suggesting the scheme had already been generating returns. Wow. Dude, 94K? That'd be sick. Honestly, like legit. Somebody DMs you. Let's do this. Let's do a poll for this. We got 8 votes on the last poll. I asked you guys, what do you think the ISM PMI comes in on Monday, I'm sorry. 50% of you guys said below 50, bearish AF. 25% said above 50, but below current level. And 25% said above current level, bullish AF. Let's do the next poll. Start poll. If your buddy sends you insider info to profit off of without innocence losing money, are you doing it? Yes, absolutely, as much as possible. Yes, but only once or twice. No, greed is bad. No, I don't want to go to jail. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the poll in the chat. If your buddy sends you insider info to profit off of without innocence losing money, are you doing it? Yes, absolutely, as much as possible. Yes, but only once or twice. No, greed is bad. Or no, I don't want to go to jail. And by no innocence losing money, I mean, like, they're telling you, hey, listen, my exchange is going to list this token. If you throw in $1,000 right now, you could have 100K. You could have maybe just 10K tomorrow morning, as long as you like sell the listing pump, because we're going to announce it, whatever. Like, somebody somewhere, their bags maybe go down a little bit, but the listing pump is going to far outweigh any dump that you cause by profiting like $9,000. You know what I mean? Lunar Entity said 2 things I find relevant about the island files. My brain meant to type 90s and 2000s. Okay. That I knew about back in the 90s and 2000s. Externalization of the hierarchy and killing of the king ritual. I don't know what either of those are. I might have to Google those. We're looking good right here, guys. Bitcoin's up 0.91%. Let's freaking go. Happy Friday. I'm going to call it Friday now. It's Friday somewhere. It's Friday for Saeed at the very least. But Bitcoin looks beautiful here. Okay, yeah, Zach XBT dropped some hot knowledge. I was retained to independently investigate alleged misconduct at Axiom, and these findings are a result of that investigation. Earlier today, I reached out to the Axiom team for comment. Their statement is attached regardless of whether Cal or MIST were aware. There was little to no monitoring or access controls in place to mitigate this abuse from happening in the first place. The extent of data granted to employees in an easily accessible dashboard is unusual for BD roles. What is BD roles? I don't know what that means. Including a user's entire wallet list with date, time, the wallets they are tracking, transaction history, the nickname of wallets, and linked accounts. Given Brooks is based in New York City, I think the case presents itself as a good opportunity for SDNY since it may fall within their jurisdiction. Dude, New York is so strict with that stuff too. He is screwed Whether or not criminal charges are filed, I hope the Axiom co-founders further investigate the abuse and consider taking legal action against the employees involved. That's crazy. How much do you get paid for that job too? Like, I don't know. Like, there's a certain level of greed. Like, if I'm already making like a couple $100,000 for my job, even just $100,000 for my job, I don't know if I'm gonna worry about insider trading. That seems so silly to me, man. Like, does you get comfortable and then you're like, I need more money. What do you need more money for? It's just it's crazy to me. It's so crazy to me. Lunar Energy said, here's all of our liquidity. Don't do anything nefarious. Come on. 88 Metal said, rip that dude for real. In New York too. In New York too. They're going to be like, I'm sorry. Did you say you profited off of something? We have very strict laws that protect you from profits. How dare you? Shame. MetaMask and MasterCard, we read that already. Oh, did I scroll down more? After Zach XBT's insider trading claims, Axiom Exchange says it's shocked and disappointed. Says they've revoked tool access and are investigating the incident. I should go apply for a job at Axiom. Oh, that'd be funny. Ransomware payments declined to 2025. What? Oh, in 2025 to around 820 million, even as attack volume hit record highs per chain analysis. That's because nobody has crypto worth stealing anymore. The bag's dumped so hard that we're not even being targeted by scammers. Update, nearly 60% of Indian firms are already using AI, far above the global average per IMF. Very cool. We got 2 votes so far, guys. Direct your attention to the poll in the chat. Michael Saylor posted a cute little bag selfie, and he said, need a bigger orange bag. Is it a hint? Is this a hint? Another Bitcoin purchase incoming? It's pretty early if it is. That'd be pretty sick if he announced some, like, he doubled their holdings. Wouldn't that be freaking crazy? John Tujo said, Bitcoin crawling up. You are correct, my friend. Bitcoin is up 0.76%. ETH is up 1.43. Sol, 2.36. Total 3.79. 8 up 2.13. Snack 1.63. XRP 1.05. What else is up? A lot. Arrow's up 2.62. Dot is up 3.54. Dude, Polkadot. I'm so happy for them. I am. I don't know if I'm just going to watch it pump or if I'm going to join, but I am happy for them. Maybe I'll buy just out of principle, just to support the pump. Lunar Entity said, how can you leave the keys in the Rari and expect it not to be taken for a ride, though? Oh, 100%. It is, no matter what, it is your responsibility as an exchange to make sure that there are, like, I don't know if, there needs to be oversight for everybody. 88 said doubles his holdings and buy off a exchange and not over the counter. Yeah, I don't know, dude. If you're gonna insider trade, why would you do it on? It's because he was being dumb about it. Like, you can do literally everything you can do on chain, like decentralized, no KYC. He will never purchase through an exchange. Oh, ew! You guys are. I thought we were talking about the scammer guy. The Axiom guy. You guys are talking about Sailor. My bad. The scammer guy. Because he was going around telling it, he's like, hey man, you want to make 200K with insider info? Somebody was like, somebody should look into this. Instead of that guy being smart and being like, hey man, here's 200K. And then they're like, where'd you get this? He's like, well, nowhere actually. I'm sending it to you from my Monero wallet. Tornado Cash, so... Lunar Entity said he's openly said he's never going to use an exchange. 88 Metal said, like how he got screenshots of him. Yeah. Eric Trump says ABTC mined Bitcoin at a 53% discount. American Bitcoin reports 6,235 Bitcoin on balance sheet. You know what would be cool? A nuclear-powered mining facility. Alert! The Big Short investor Michael Burry sees Nvidia's purchase commitments as similar to Cisco near the peak of the dot-com bubble. Honestly, I can never take anything this guy says seriously. He says so much shit all the time, and I don't think he's achieved anything besides The Big Short. And he's a good talker. He's a used car salesman. You know, right here. Yeah, exactly. Burry has been calling the top on everything for years. The Cisco comparison ignores that Nvidia has actual revenue dominance, not just speculation. Broken clocks still get headlines though. 100%. It's a great headline. And that's a brilliant movie. Good movie, you know what I mean? Lunar said your neighbor leans over. We're shorting Bitcoin later. Come over, right? Update: 12 suspected insider wallets made a combined 1.02 million betting on project exposed by Zach XBT per look on chain. This is a big big headline. A couple hours ago, people were like, Zach XBT's insider trading announcement is insider traded on betting markets, and some like new wallet made like 100 grand in profits betting 60K that it was going to be Axiom, which is pretty funny. Oh man. Latest Peter Schiff said Bitcoin nearly $70,000 gives holders another chance to sell the rally and rotate into gold. Here, sell this thing that's down 50% and buy this thing that's up like at all-time highs. Oh, poor Peter Schiff. I feel bad for the guy. I do. I really do. Imagine being so miserable you just talk shit about something else all day. Tether CEO Paolo Arduino suggests that a new mobile operating system may be needed. What does that mean? Latest, Vitalik Buterin outlined a roadmap for Ethereum to become quantum resistant by replacing vulnerable cryptography with hash-based signatures, Stark proofs, and new account infrastructure. So, is that why he's selling all of his Ethereum? The CEO of Anthropic says nobody is paying attention to what's about to happen. The most surprising thing has been a lack of public recognition of how close we are to the end of the exponential. I don't know what that means. To me, it is absolutely wild that you have people talking about the same tired old hot button political issues. We're near the end of the exponential. What does that mean? That he sounds like, who was it? Terrence Howard. Pythagorean's theorem. Pythagorean's theorem. Disproving gravity. We're at the end of the exponential. It fits right in there. Lunar Entity said, I don't trust any talking head. If they hate it, they probably own it. I don't know, man. I don't know. Cointelegraph posted, oh, Peter Schiff has definitely profited probably more off of crypto than he has off of gold, simply by talking about it. Not even owning it. Sentiment data shows Hedera, Chainlink, and Avalanche ranked among the top real-world asset crypto projects by development activity. Very cool. Yeah, I'm gonna be loading up on Avalanche pretty hard. Guy licked the toad. Obviously, he looks like he belongs in a sitcom. Okay. OKX has integrated Chainalysis' Altaria fraud detection system to screen withdrawals and block transfers. This is really cool. Are you ready? And block transfers to scam-linked crypto addresses before funds leave the exchange. Let's frickin' go. This is what we need to see. It's 2026, guys. I want my exchange to integrate this so that if some asshole tries to rob me, and they've robbed everyone down the street already, they show up to my place, and my place is like, wait a minute. I just watched you rob all the neighbors. You can't come in here. It's 2026. Come on. This one's amazing. Senator Cynthia Lummis absolutely eviscerated Sam Bankman-Fried's support for the Clarity Act. She said this legislation would have kept him imprisoned longer and that his backing is not needed or wanted. Absolute gigachode gets dominated by Dami Mommy Cynthia Lummis. What a badass. I love that lady so much. According to River, major financial firms like Fidelity, Bank of America, and Morgan Stanley recommend allocating roughly 1 to 5% of portfolios to Bitcoin. Fidelity, says 2 to 5. Bank of America says 1 to 4. Morgan Stanley says 0 to 4. Wisdom Tree says 0 to 1. And JP Morgan says 0 to 1. BlackRock says 1 to 2. Ooh, very cool. Jack Dorsey said Block will cut nearly half of its workforce from over 10,000 to about 6,000 employees as the company shifts towards smaller teams and greater use of AI-driven tools. Honestly, though, 6,000 employees is even a lot. I'm not gonna lie. That's cool that he has that many employees, but that's a lot of people. The U.S. OCC proposed rules to restrict branded stablecoins and ban yield rewards. Dang. So they're about to destroy the only part that Coinbase liked of clarity. Bullish. JP Morgan says crypto markets could get a significant boost in the second half of 2026 if the market structure bill passes. Let's freaking go. Mark Chadwick posted, this is actually massive for crypto. Mega Bank City says it's launching infrastructure later this year to integrate Bitcoin into traditional finance. Translation, trillions in institutional capital will have access to Bitcoin through familiar banking rails. Gold and equity saw parabolic gains because they had institutional clarity, access, custody for institutional buyers. Bitcoin is now being positioned for that same treatment. Now connect the dots. Clarity Act, regulatory clarity. Regulatory certainty, more banks integrate crypto, more integration, institutions allocate capital, institutional allocation, deeper liquidity, and confidence. The same framework that makes Bitcoin bankable and can eventually be extended to alts. This is the groundwork for trillions to flow into crypto from the biggest institutional clients of the biggest banks in the world. Let's freaking go. Lunar Entity said a lot of institutions recommend zero Bitcoin exposure in November. Flipping back to 5% is very upbeat. I like that. I like that. Next we've got, they probably know Clarity's coming. Kaleo, Crypto Kaleo, long time no see, posted, not asking for much, just want to see Bitcoin squeeze straight back to all-time highs and look back on this as one of the greatest bear traps of all time. That would be legendary. That would be legendary. I would be such a cocky prick if that happened. Bitcoin and alts pumping 7+% just 2 days after Jane Street lawsuit. POV walking into the office this morning after months of telling everyone crypto's being manipulated. How about years? How about after years of telling everyone crypto's being manipulated by a market maker? That's crazy. Coinbo trading. That's why I posted that this morning when Bitcoin did this. I was like, is Jane Street manipulating Bitcoin again? Coinbo Trading posted, altcoins are about to explode like never seen before. All the altcoin seasons have started from this exact support level. Altcoins have hit that support level for the first time in years. They have already broken the downtrend, and the RSI has followed. Historically, what comes next is expansion. Altcoins have been suppressed for years. Maybe it's finally time. Time will tell. Let's go. I'm excited. Again, I think I've been saying I'm excited for a year, but I am excited. I am. Parabolic, another gem, posted, altcoins are dead. They said it in 2019, then 2021 alt season happened. Now they're saying it again. Every time the crowd calls altcoins dead, bottom. Every time the crowd went all in, top. The crowd is always wrong. At the worst possible time, every single cycle, just zoom out. We are sitting on a 9-year support trend line. 5 years of altcoins bleeding against Bitcoin. And in those 5 years, altcoins have never had their real expansion phase. Only brief outperformance periods. Mini moves, nothing more. The actual alt season hasn't happened yet. The same people calling altcoins dead today will FOMO back in at the top. Call me crazy, but I'm now all in on altcoins. They'll say it again, loud and proud, convincing everyone they're a genius at exactly the wrong moment once again, right at the top. The ones who understood this early will be the selling to those people. Make sure that's you. Zoom out. The reset is complete. The RSI is already breaking out. RSI precedes price. The chart will follow. If you understand how significant this moment is, are you paying attention? Parabolic. I will say this guy has a way with words. It's like a haiku for a hopium. It's pretty crazy to witness. Bar chart posted beer shipments on track for the worst year since the 1980s. That's crazy. Does this U.S. beer volumes, millions of barrels, I'm assuming this doesn't count like microbreweries. I think that might have had a big impact on this, at least maybe in 2025. But that's actually crazy to see it. 2005, 10, 15, 20 was really good, and then 25 and 26 are really bad. It's so bad that they're tracking it year by year now. It's actually kind of funny. Is that from Bank of America? That's hilarious. Warren Buffett, 1956, 100K. 2025, 150 billion. Crypto guys, 9 a.m., 100K. 10 a.m., $150. Let's see. Lunar Entity said the manipulation is to be expected in a market flush with leverage and lax with regulation. I 100% agree. It's a free market. That's my worry. Everyone's like, Jane Street manipulated Bitcoin, blah, blah, blah. They're also responsible for crashing Terra Luna. And now we're all going to celebrate Do Kwon like he's some hero. I will not be celebrating that. Do Kwon is a criminal. He should be in prison where he is because he was an idiot and he effed over a lot of people. You do not print a asset like Luna. You do not print a top 10, top 20, top 100. You cannot print a top 100 cryptocurrency to peg a stablecoin, leading into a bear market. The cascade effect played out. We witnessed it firsthand. There's no argument to be made. That was the dumbest thing anyone could ever do with anything ever. And he was an idiot for that. And it's gone. Thanks for nothing, NVIDIA. We got the NVIDIA pump and dump classic. Very cool. Breaking tech stocks took a big fat dump as well. Fear returns to the stock market. Folks are scared. Oh, we got a couple more loaded in. Hang on. Google searches for can't sell home soared to highest level in history, surpassing even the peak of the global financial crisis. Get wrecked, big boy. This is exciting to me, and I apologize if that's incredibly immature or immoral to you. I don't give a shit. I don't. I'm sorry. I'm not actually sorry. Skyodelic posted, everybody needs to see this chart if you're struggling to understand my thesis. This is another simple and effective chart that tells a very broad macro picture all in one. It's probably one of the best overall macro charts you could see. What we're looking at here is copper, Bitcoin, gold, ISM. Now, these four charts all tell a very distinct story, but when you put them together, they tell almost everything. Copper is an asset that signals overall expansion, and it is the most used metal in construction and development of all forms. And now, with the added tailwind of AI, copper has broken out of a 20-year trend to the upside. That is different. That is definitely something. The demand for copper is not going to slow down. Next, Bitcoin follows copper, almost tit for tat, because Bitcoin is risk-on asset that thrives in economic and business expansion. And at the very bottom, ISM, which is the index for whether the economy is expanding or not. So now, firstly, observe copper and ISM. Do we think copper breaking out of a 20-year range and ISM entering expansion for the first time is a coincidence? It's not. Now look at every cycle top for Bitcoin. What do copper and ISM look like at those moments? At the peak of their expansion, but right now, they are only at the beginning. And with copper breaking a 20-year trend, do we think this will be a small breakout? No. Lastly, let's now add in gold. Gold is important here because it's a risk-off asset that thrives in periods of economic uncertainty. What we can see here is that gold runs whilst others contract. And we can see every cycle, regardless of 4-year cycle, this is a process that happens. Gold pumps in contraction, ISM moves in expansion with copper pushing, Bitcoin follows. This is not an arbitrary 4-year number. This same process is happening right now, even though it is totally out of line with the 4-year cycle, because it is not the 4-year cycle that matters. It is the cycle of expansion and contraction that we can see here. It is not a coincidence that this is all happening the same way it always does, even though this time there has been a much longer gap between ISM contraction and expansion. This chart tells us everything we need to know about the macro, and it is right now entering large-scale expansion. Whilst everyone thinks it's over, this is nothing like 2022. This is actually kind of cool. Let's see, copper, Bitcoin, gold, ISM. ISM explosion, gold potentially topping. Okay, so they got comparisons. We got copper pumping, Bitcoin pump, gold dumpy sideways. Well, I mean, it just looks like sideways right here. ISM pump, copper explosion, Bitcoin explosion, gold dumpy sideways, ISM explosion. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Yeah, we're going to have to wait and see what Monday brings. Because so far, Bitcoin doesn't really seem to care about anything else. Maybe it's just overbought, man. It's entirely possible that Bitcoin was just entirely overbought. Silver trade posted Citigroup forecasts $150 silver within 3 months. Meanwhile, the fifth largest bank in the U.S. is still forecasting $100 silver by March and a further move up to $150 within 3 months, citing an acute shortage of physical silver and increased industrial demand. Get ready to lose your job. This one's great. I don't know where this guy got this. This is a book page. What dies? Driving, doctors, surgeons, coders, teachers, lawyers, artists, factory, soldiers. We got 2029, 2030, 2032, 2028 for coders, 2029 for teachers, 2031 for lawyers, 2030 for artists, 2031 for factory, 2033 for soldiers. That's crazy. Honestly, at that point, if we're at that point, why would we have soldiers? Wouldn't we just go to war like digitally, like in Minecraft or something? That'd be kind of funny. Mags posted gold versus Bitcoin. Interesting similarities. We got gold. We are here. Reclaim explosion 3. Yeah, I usually quite like that, don't I? Adam Eve almost. Eve Adam. This is like an Adam Eve maybe. I don't know. I like it. I like it. And last but not least, just Cynthia Loomis, her actual roasting of Sam Bankman-Fried. Someone's looking for a pardon and doesn't realize the Clarity Act would have you locked up for much longer than 25 years. My legislation couldn't be more different than the bill you tried to buy from Congress over my objection in 2022. We do not need nor want your support. What a freaking legend. I love this lady. That is so badass. Bitcoin chilling, up 0.41%, trading at $67,760. We got our Grok input. We said, what level do you expect the ISM print to come in on Monday? Last one was 52.6. It's at around 52 with consensus 52.3. Slight moderation from January's 52.6 is the base case. The February 2026 ISM Manufacturers PMI released Monday. Let's see. Last print, a big upside surprise. The first expansion reading in over a year. It was the highest since August 2022, driven by strong new orders and some post-holiday reordering, tariff front-loading per ISM chair Susan Spence. Current consensus 52.3. This already bakes in some cooling from January's surge. S&P Global U.S. Manufacturing PMI for February 51.2 to 52.4. Why I expect 52. Or 51.8 to 52.3 range, still solidly expansionary. Regional Fed surveys, January's jump had one-off elements. Broader backdrop. Manufacturing has been in a gradual recovery, but faces headwinds like cautious hiring and inventory management. A print in the low 52s would still signal ongoing, if moderating, expansion and fit the narrative of resilient but not overheating U.S. industry. A bigger downside miss, 51.5, would be a surprise given the consensus and regional resilience in spots. An upside beat back near 53 would require stronger follow-through than the S&P data suggests. This is why my synthesis from the data, no crystal ball, and ISM can have volatility. Note the huge January beat. Watch sub-indices like new orders and prices for market reaction. Prices stayed elevated 59 in January. If you have specific subcomponent bets or context, tariff impacts I can refine. Okay. I'm wondering if February's data that prints in, or no, it would be March's data that prints in April. I wonder if that's going to come in like crazy high expansion with the new tariffs coming into play. That's very curious. Although everyone's kind of pushing back at this point. Like FedEx is literally suing the administration to try and get all their tariff money back, which is crazy. That's a crazy thing to do. I don't know. We're going to have to see, man. So tomorrow, because we're doing a 12-hour stream on Saturday, I don't know if tomorrow's going to be like a full proper stream. I might either skip the news segment or we might do like a very light dusting of news segment because I'm going to try to probably save a lot of the news from tomorrow for Saturday, especially given the market's not trading on Saturday except for crypto. So we can probably save a lot of the data for that anyways. I don't know. I guess we'll probably call it there. Appreciate you guys for sticking around. Let's check our poll. 3 votes. One of you guys said yes, but only once or twice. The other 2 said yes, absolutely as much as possible. When I asked you guys if your buddy sends you insider info for profit, without innocence losing money, are you doing it? I also would participate. 100%. So, anyways, guys, as always, when the market starts to do anything crazy or anything at all, I will hop back on. Otherwise, I will see you all tomorrow. Don't forget to smash the like button on your way out. Happy Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday. Let's freaking go. Join the Discord if you haven't already. And good night.